5th edition is a great system to play your tabletop RPG in. Dungeons & Dragons, however, can go kiss my ass. Okay, I'm going there. I'm doing it. I have been quiet about all this crap going on across the Wizards of the Coast D&D brand for about 2 weeks now. Besides doing that one video, that joking video where I tossed out all of my Wizards of the Coast books, rightfully, but I'm kind of getting pissed off and I want to do some things and I want to say some things about 5th edition, about Wizards of the Coast, about Dungeons and fucking Dragons, and about the talent that is out there. The first thing I want to say is I see a lot of people out there on the internet just kind of confused about the whole thing, and a lot of people, and rightfully so, think Dungeons and Dragons is exactly the same thing as 5th edition, which it is not. 5th edition is the gaming system we use to play our tabletop RPG in, for example, Dungeons and Dragons. So there is nothing wrong with 5th edition by itself if you like the system. I personally love the system. It's not perfect in any way, shape or form, but it is a good system to play fantasy games in, and I love it, and I'm not going to stop playing 5th edition, right? But I'm going to stop using Wizards of the Coast crap, D&D books, D&D Beyond, and all that jazz because of the mismanaged, wrongly monetized crap that they're pulling off right now. 5th edition is water, right? Dungeons and Dragons is a wine created from that water. And the wine is overly priced. It isn't really good. And it just sucks, right? That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the water. It means you can stop buying this wine. You can, if you want, you just drink the wine because you bought it already. You already spent your money. You might as well just drink it and then toss it out, right? Or just downright toss it out if you're pissed off like me. But you can still continue to play 5th edition because there is so much talent out there. So much non-Wizards of the Coast talent out there. I'm talking Nord Games, I'm talking Kobold Press, Loresmith, JVC Perry, Anna Gregerson, Niels Peter de Jong, and all these people that have stuff on my shelf and pile up behind the camera. There's so much stuff out there that if you spend just a couple of dollars on the Dungeon Masters Guild, on Drive2RPG, or any of the personal shops, buy people directly, you can play a lifetime of 5th edition without ever spending another penny on Mages of the Mainlands, which is what I'm calling them right now because I don't even want to call Wizards of the Coast by their real name. And I just want to, I'm sorry, I'm getting rallied up. I just want to say 5th edition, for example, I'm not going to stop playing 5th edition at all. My main party, for example, which I play with on a monthly basis at my table, in my living room downstairs, we play 5th edition, but we don't play Dungeons and Dragons. We're playing in a Midgard campaign setting by this company, Kobold Press, which I have all the books of, and the game we play has nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons. It has nothing to do with Faerun, Forgotten Realms. It has nothing to do with Volo's Guide to Monsters. It has nothing to do with Xenetter's Guide to Everything. It is a Midgard campaign, and it is not Dungeons and Dragons. And I can probably spend my entire lifetime, and then some lifetimes, playing only what is on this shelf right here and right there. Only Midgard. So 5th edition is perfectly fine if you want to continue playing 5th edition. Use the water to drink the water, create different stuff from the water, create ale or better wine that is better and cheaper than the Wizards of the Coast wine, and create your own thing with the water. Now, that said, 5th edition is created by Wizards of the Coast, but yeah, it is out there, and as long as we can use it, I will use it with the parties that I'm playing it already. Now, I will every now and then tell my party, hey, there's a lot of cool systems out there. If we have a TPK, we can always try a new system, and if they're open to that, I really would like to play a new system with them. And I personally am not going to start a new 5th edition game in the near future? Probably never. I am waiting for to see what Kobold Press is going to do with Project Black Flag. If you don't know what that is, Kobold Press is actually building their own system. So I can continue to play 5th edition with my party, and then Kobold Press comes out and they're like, hey, we have our own system, and it's probably going to be compatible with all the crap you already have. So just slide your 5th edition game in there and just play a Black Flag or whatever the name is going to end up being. Also, I'm going to run Cypher system games. I'm really into, which is right here, the Cypher system. I'm really getting into that. I'm reading Numenera. I'm reviewing it this week on my channel. And there is so much stuff on the Dungeon Masters Guild and Drive-Thru RPG that you can just take 5th edition and you can continue to play it. You don't have to spend anything on Wizards of the Coast ever again. If you would only buy 5th edition stuff from, say, only JVC Perry, that's probably already enough to spend years upon years playing 5th edition. Quit Wizards of the Coast. Quit D&D Beyond. Don't buy their books. Use the books you already have. It's fine. Please don't buy their books. Don't buy into whatever they're doing with D&D Beyond. They're planning, and yes, it's a thing. Look it up on YouTube, on Google. They're planning on tenfolding the monetization of D&D Beyond. I don't mean they want to tenfold the player base. They want to take 10 times the amount of money out of your party than what you're spending right now. They have a plan for that. Let's say there is this woman and she works for Wizards of the Coast and she writes awesome stuff for D&D, right? So they tell her, write us a castle crawl. And she's like, oh, a castle. So I have to write a castle. Okay, let's do this. Okay. And she takes her keyboard and she's like, okay, let's write a castle. And she writes the most awesome, coolest castle in the world, right? She's, wow. And she ends up being 300 pages of amazing content. And she takes that book, she prints it out, and she's like super glad she worked on this for weeks and months. And she's like, hey, boom, I even got some placeholder art in there, so you get a vibe of what it is. And Wizards of the Coast or whatever, a person looks at it and they're like, yeah, that's 300 pages. Cut that up, and make sure it's only 75 pages. And she's like, what? 75 pages? I just spent fucking 3 months working on this shit, and now you're saying... Yeah, because 75 pages, we can ask the same amount of money for a book, but we can charge the same. That's basically what's going on, I think, at Wizards of the Coast, under Hasbro. Because there is enough talent. Because Wizards of the Coast literally created a third-party atmosphere. They created a gigantic pool of third-party creators who write their own stuff for their system, and they pick people from that pool, what they think is the best people from that pool, and put them at Wizards of the Coast, make them official D&D designers. So the talent is in Wizards of the Coast. I'm not doubting that. So everybody in Wizards of the Coast, by the way, the writers, the artists, the layout designers, awesome stuff. It is the wrong monetization. It is the mismanagement. It is the... I'm sick of it. So I'm officially announcing that I will be reviewing 5th edition content in the future. Third party, exclusively. This is probably the last time on me mentioning the words Dungeons and Dragons. This is probably me the last time mentioning Wizards of the Coast. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm also going to branch out to different systems. So I'm going to talk about the Cypher system. I'm going to talk about Pathfinder, yes. I'm going to talk about Grand Odyssey, which is link in the description below. It is a system, really simple system built upon the foundation of 5th edition, but it's entirely its own thing. It's backwards compatible. I'm going to review it this week. It's really cool. It only costs you $5 and you have your entire tabletop RPG system that looks and smells like 5th edition, but it is not, and you're not supporting Wizards of the Coast. So my channel will start being slowly progress into being more a open tabletop RPG channel other than just 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons third-party content, but it will still be a big part of what I do on my channel. Also, Black Flag. Once we have information about Black Flag, I will talk about Black Flag, and I'm really excited to see what Kobold Press is doing. I'm really excited to see what Paisa is doing with the open gaming license for Pathfinder, and Black Flag is also joining them, all that crap. This should not stop your fun. Have fun. Use the books you already have. But if you want to buy a new book and you want to say play an orc. Let's say you want to play an orc. Instead of looking at Wizards of the Coast like how can I play an orc and buying their book that has a player option for orc, go to the Dungeon Master Guild or Drive-Thru-RPG or whatever company or whatever and type in playing an orc or whatever and search those books. They are often better. They're often cheaper, they're created from the same water, but their brewing or distilling process is just way better. And until next video, bye-bye.